love it not. So they that fear God, love not the abominations. So if you fear God, if you follow God, if you love God, you got to look at what he says in abomination, and you got to stay way away from it. Christ! Who's the king? Christ! Who's the king? Christ! Right on!
We calling out, we crying aloud on the highways and hedges, repent or die. We give
Benjamin, which is the West Indians, Levi, which are the Haitians, and then Judah, that's the American black.
We crying aloud, oh Israel, repent or die.
Do you know your father? According to the Bible. No, your physical father, earthly father. Is he a so-called black man? Where's he from?
Jesus is Lord. Oh, Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Oh, so get your mind right.
My fierce anger for all the earth, everywhere you go. I don't care how many so-called white people got these bunkers. All the earth shall be devoured. Shall be what? Devoured. You ever seen a pit bull by the pool? You ever seen that? It ain't a pretty sight, is it? That's what's gonna happen.
Get your mind right. Get your mind right.
Your question, can you say it again for them?
My question was saying that we're chosen from a specific bloodline, which is Abraham, Isaac, Jacob.
Right.
I said prior to them, didn't God have dealings with people prior to them? Because the Egyptians and the Kemet civilization and the Babylonian civilization go back way far beyond the Chaldeans, which Abraham came from.
Right.
So God had to be dealing with us prior to them.
So
who were they?
Before you had the children of Israel, you had the sons of God. Okay? So before the Most High made a covenant with our forefathers, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you had the sons of God. Read that real quick.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 26.
So this is after Cain and Abel. Okay, now remember, the Most High created what? Adam and Eve. Now keep in mind, in the beginning, when the Most High created everything, he didn't just make one man and one female. Right. You got to think about it like this. Did he just create one fish, and out of that fish came tilapia, salmon, sharks, and stuff like that? No.
It ain't a fish.
Okay, tilapia, it's a fish. It's a fish, brother. It's highly modified, though. I know what you're talking about. It's highly
hybrid fish.
Yeah, it's heavily, it's a natural fish. It's heavily farm raised. Okay, but anyway, so there was multitudes of fish, multitudes of birds, multitudes of animals. You understand what I'm saying? So why, when the Most High get to man and women, he make what? One woman, one female. No, that's not the case. Let's read that real quick.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 26. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos.
Okay.
Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord.
So this after Cain and Abel, all right? Because remember, Cain was that wicked seed. Abel was the righteous seed, right? So when Cain slew Abel, what happened? The Most High had to bring up what? Another righteous spirit in the world. He said, then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. Those men were called what? The sons of God. They didn't have a label on them. Get Genesis 6 and 2. You'll read that when you see Genesis 6 and 2.
Brothers, right?
Cain and Abel was brothers. Now this is what you got to realize.
Cain killed his brother out of jealousy.
Right. Now this is why. Well, Cain killed his brother because Cain was disobedient. See, y'all gotta understand, we had the laws of God since the beginning of time.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So the Most High had what? Cain and Abel come to give sacrifice. Cain wanted to bring fruit. Abel already knew to what? Bring the firstling of his flocks and his herds, animals. You understand what I'm saying? So now check this out.
The book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 2. And the sons of God saw the daughters of men.
What were they called back then? There wasn't a label. They was called the sons of God. Y'all see that? This is the beginning of the book, though. Okay? Now you also got to think about this, brother. And this is where we get confounded with the scriptures. When Cain slew Abel, right? And Cain was banished out. Where did Cain get a wife from? You understand what I'm saying? Remember when it say Cain got married and built the city and everything? That lets you know that what? The Most High, he created a lot of people. Right. But he dealt with who? Adam.
Well, that's in the Bible. The Bible says he created Cain and Abel, and he also had sons and daughters. So it tells you it was other people.
Right, but a lot of people get confounded, right? That's before that. Check this out. A lot of people get confounded when they say, okay, Cain, after he fled, he got a wife. They like, where does wife come from? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people think it was just what? Adam and Eve. All right? When you read the Bible is like a puzzle. When you read in Ezekiel, you hear that Ezekiel uses men in a similitude of trees. You understand what I'm saying? So remember when it said Adam and Eve hid themselves amongst the trees after they committed a sin?
That's the people.
That was people, exactly. Okay. That's what it was. But if you're not keeping God's commandments, he won't open up your mind to understand how to break this puzzle called the Bible down.
That's right.
So read
what
that.
did you read just now? You said
we read Genesis 6 and 2, right? Where you going?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 6,
This
verse
just
2.
proving that they was called the sons of God.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men.
So when you think about this, when the Most High created us, right? Before he dealt with and put a nation, a name on them, he had the sons of God, he had the sons of men, and he had the sons of the wicked. Think about it like this. Cain, he was of what?
Sons of wicked.
Sons of the wicked. There you go. It's plain and clear. So that means that what? Abel was of what? Sons of God. Exactly. And then you had the sons of men. That's where Cain got his wife from. That's the rest of the people that the Most High created.
Right.
Read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 2.
Come on.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men.
Now, a lot of people get this wrong and say this was angels coming down, sleeping with humans. No. The Most High, we are gods on this earth. I'm going to get that scripture to prove it. Go ahead.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of which they chose.
Come on.
And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
You see how I said man? He didn't say angels. He said, my spirit shall not always strive with who?
Man.
With man. Because this was men doing this. Right? But we had the title as gods on the earth. It's Psalms 82 now.
So how did they
Bring it up.
Let's go. Let's keep it going. Keep it going. You got to understand this, and the scriptures will tell you in the book of Esdras that the stature of the men back then is nothing like today. Okay, read that. Somebody find that scripture for me. It's in First Maccabees.
Bring it out.
There were giants in the earth in those days.
So that's what you're talking about. You're like, well, okay, how these giants come about? Somebody find that for me. Read on.
And also after that,
that's what I need the
when the
Maccabees
son,
for. Come on.
and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, they bare children of them, and the same became mighty men, which are of old, men of renown.
You see that? It said that the same became. I need you to read it clear, man, so they can understand. Read start it again from the top, not from verse 2, but verse 3. Turn it up, all.
Verse 3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
So keep in mind, the context is that the Most High is talking about his spirit not striving with man. Read.
For that he also is flesh.
Say it again.
For that he also is flesh.
So this is not talking about angels now.
Talking about a human.
This is talking about humans. Come on.
That his days shall be 120 years.
So the Most High said, because you went and dealt with the daughters of men, your days are going to be short. That 120 is just the time limit, because you got people living 130 sometimes. But the Most High is just saying, we're not going to live long how we should. We were supposed to live forever. Go ahead.
There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men,
those giants are the sons of God. Watch this.
They bare them children to them, and the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
So now, look at the characteristics, brothers and sisters. It went from calling them the sons of God, right, to giants, right, to mighty men, to men of renown. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So this is just talking about a status. These were the powerful men on the earth that the Most High created and was dealing with. Let's get that in Baruch.
Hold on, so how can you become if you already was?
Say that again?
How can you become if you already was?
What you mean?
So it's I'm listening, and it sounds like these already established giants, or God of men, had sex with mortal, regular women, and they developed giants. It's like if they were already giants, then for them to have children and become giants is normal.
Right.
So that means it should have been already established. Like they make it seem like these kids were like a new breed.
No, they not a new breed. This is with the scriptures. Let's read that real quick. Yeah, come on.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 26. I'm at 3, sorry. The book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 26. There were the giants famous from the beginning that were of so great stature.
So this is just talking about tall men, okay? That's what stature means. Come on.
So expert in war.
So expert in war, that was one of their characteristics.
Those did not the Lord choose.
Remember, they was called the sons of God. Now the problem isn't that they were giants. The problem is that they slept with the daughters of men. That was it. But they was good. Yeah, they was good. The Most High created us to be big on this earth.
How tall are you?
I'm about 6'3", 6'4".
How tall is Shaq?
Shaq like 7 feet.
How tall is Yao Ming?
He like 10 feet. But we were taller than that.
No, Yao Ming is 7'10".
Those he like 7'10". Yeah.
Those did not.
Because he looked tall as a mug. Go ahead.
Those did not the Lord choose, neither gave the way of knowledge unto them.
Okay.
But they were destroyed.
You see
because
that?
they had no wisdom.
Why didn't they have wisdom? Because they laid with the daughters of men. That's what y'all gotta understand. All right. So this not talking.
Because they laid the daughters of men, they denied knowledge.
No, the Most High, read it again. He said, but they didn't have enough knowledge to have the fear of the Lord to not sleep with the daughters of men.
Right.
And that's the thing. We always consume things upon our own lust.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
So they sinned at the beginning before they even slept. That's what caused them to sleep during the sin.
No. They chose to sleep with women themselves because of their lust.
They still do.
Read it again. Come on. I want you to stay with me, brother. I understand. Lusting is a sin.
It's a sin.
Lusting is a sin. Come on.
Verse 27. Those did not the Lord choose, neither gave he the way of knowledge unto them, but they were destroyed because they had no wisdom.
What? What's knowledge? Let's get that real quick in Psalms.
Getting an awareness of what they're doing.
Okay, so knowledge just means God's laws. But the wisdom is you applying it.
Right.
That's what that is, okay? So now, you fall into a situation at work, you have rules and guidelines on the job, right? You know, okay, if I don't do this, or if I go against this rule, I might get a write-up, something might happen, something gonna go down. So you got the knowledge of what not to do. You being wise would be to apply things to stay out of the line of fire of getting fired or anything like that.
Lacking the knowledge will have you do it anyway.
But lacking the right. No, but not having the wisdom, meaning you just want to do your own thing.
Wisdom and knowledge.
Come on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111, verse 10.
The knowledge is knowing. The wisdom is applying. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Okay.
Hey.
Now look, when you feared your mother and father, right? You did what the hell they told you to do. Correct?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So now you applying something because you show what? That you fear any what? Of his judgments.
Right.
What's one of his judgments? Slavery. That's what we went through. What's one of the judgments? Freddie Gray. These are the Most High's judgments that we dealing with. Come on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Come on.
A good understanding.
A good understanding of how to fear God.
Have all they that do his commandments.
You see that? Right. You see that? So a good understanding of what? The Most High's judgment. Okay, he said Deuteronomy 28:68. Let's get that real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68 is a pivotal curse that came upon our people. The Blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans, right? The Most High said this in the book of Deuteronomy, and it's heavy though. Because this shows you that we didn't have fear. Come on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
We did our own thing. Come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
To break it down simply, of course, Egypt was never known as Egypt. It was known as Kemet. It was another one, Mizraim. Okay, Egypt is what the Greeks used for bondage because that was a place where slaves would be taken. Remember, Egypt was one of the biggest kingdoms. Think about this, family. Let's just be smart and use common sense. There's no kingdom on earth that didn't have servants.
Right.
Understand that. There's no kingdom on earth that did not have servants. Okay, Egypt had many servants, and remember, they ruled for dynasties upon dynasties. Okay, so the Most High is saying, I'm going to bring you into Egypt again with ships this time, excuse me. Meaning what? You're going back into bondage, but this time you're going what? On cargo slave ships. Not a yacht, not the Odyssey. You're going on slave ships. This is the Holy Bible. This is the King James Version. Holy Bible. Read it again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Come on.
By the way thereof I spake unto thee.
Moses is telling the children of Israel, the same way I'm telling you this is going to happen, that's how it's going to happen. And you see, wasn't no stone left unturned. We went with ships. We went into slavery through ships. Come on.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
What are you not going to see no more again?
Homeland.
Your homeland, man. Your homeland. Come on.
And there you should be sold unto your enemies.
Your who?
Your enemies.
So the white man is our what?
Your enemies.
Yeah, that's what the Bible says. That's not what we say. And that's what we come out here to let the brothers and sisters know. We just out here to do what? Edify the saints.
Right.
That's it. That you may repent. We're not out here to tell you, hey, look, we saying the white man, the devil, or evil. The Most High just called them your enemies. Read it again.
And there y'all should see it no more again. And there you should be sold unto your enemies. For bondmen.
For slave men.
And bondwomen.
And slave women. And you're still in slavery. You want to know what slavery is? Tax time. Taxes, I mean. Bills. You know what I'm saying? You still in slavery, man.
Right.
All types of bills, all types of curses coming upon our people. You still in slavery.
That's right.
You don't got your own education system. You don't have your own government. We got to rise up as a people, man. Keep God's laws first. And then mobilize, man. That's how it starts. Go to verse 46 in Deuteronomy 28 as well.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
This is where the soldier left off. These curses are a sign. Come on.
And for a wonder.
And for a wonder.
And upon thy seed forever.
And it's going to be on your kids. Read.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore,
meaning what? If we kept the laws of God willfully, we would have all things. That's what the scripture just said. Come on.
Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies.
So not only have we been sold to our enemies, now the Most High saying we shall serve our enemies. For what?
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
So do we own Shoppers?
No.
Safeway?
No.
CVS?
No real estate, no
none of that, right?
No Avis budget, no nothing.
You see that? Come on. So in hunger,
which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst.
And in thirst, that's your dishonesty. Matter of fact, that's your water. That's your faucet water. You got to pay a water bill. Taxes on the water.
Water tax. How about that?
Bring it out.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst.
And in thirst.
And in nakedness.
Like right now. We got on clothes that's not made by our people.
Right.
It's not made by our people. This is made by your oppressors.
Right.
Understand that. And this just not talking about the white man. The Most High, these curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28, this was going to fall upon us generation after generation after generation. We've been enslaved by almost every nation under heaven.
Right.
That's what the scriptures say.
Right.
Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
Now somebody out here give me an example of what's want of all things. Give me an example.
I want them True Religion jeans and them Michael Jordan.
Now we already said clothing,
housing,
housing, transportation,
everywhere in life.
all that, man.
Right.
I'm talking about if you want to die, what you got to do?
All the comforts of life.
All the comforts of life. There you go. Read on.
Okay.
Now this is the big key, because this is where it gets specific. Come on.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
Sis, we reading the Holy Bible. For everybody who just walked up, this is the King James Version. We reading Deuteronomy chapter 28. Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron.
Your enemy shall put a yoke of iron
upon thy neck.
Upon your what?
Upon thy neck.
Y'all see that? It's right there. It's right there.
Bring it out.
Why you think they keep bringing out? That's the Most High putting the spirit on these film production companies to keep bringing out slave movies. The Most High don't want you to forget. He wants you to wake up.
Right.
Read it again.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee.
Now go back to Psalms 82 and 6 now. Because you men are gods upon the earth.
That's right.
But right now you dying like men. Why? Because you're in the midst of sin. Right. It's for the same thing that happened with Adam. You was a god upon the earth, but you died having fleshly thoughts, man. Worldly thoughts. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 82, verse 6. I have said, ye are gods.
This is what the Most High said to you blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians. To you men first and foremost, that you are gods upon the earth.
That's right.
Read.
I have said, ye are gods.
But
And all of you are children of the Most High.
that's talking about the sisters and the kids. We all children of the Most High, but what?
But ye shall die like men
Why?
and fall like one of the princes.
Fall like one of the princes, meaning one of these heathen nations out here. That's hip talk right there that King David is using. But that's the problem with us. Let's get on the sisters now. Give me Isaiah 3:16. But it's mainly you men's fault, man. Y'all got to stand up and be men, gird up your loins, and keep God's commandments first.
Right.
Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 16. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty
Right?
and walk with stretched forth necks.
Y'all know what it means to be haughty? Meaning you're arrogantly superior.
Right.
You know, some sisters just think they know it all. You understand what I'm saying? So the scriptures is putting the characteristics on our sisters. And you can see it. The proof is in the pudding. It says, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, go ahead.
Because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks
So
and wanton eyes.
Hey, look, that's that. When they moving their neck and all that, that's that stretched forth neck. Yeah, all that. Yeah, that's our sisters, though. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They all do it. Read.
Because the daughters of Zion are haughty
Come on.
and walk with stretched forth necks
Come
and
on.
wanton eyes.
What's the wanting eyes? Lustful eyes. That eye screwing, that thing right there. That's our sisters. And the brothers do it too. Read.
And wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go.
Walking and mincing as they go. Come on.
And making a tinkling with their feet.
Why? Because at one point in time, our sisters used to be so beautiful, and always in they costly array, they would have the jewelry on their ankles and stuff like that. So that's why I say with the tinkling amongst the feet, upon the feet. Go ahead.
Therefore, the Lord shall smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion.
So that means the hair that you see now on the sisters, it wasn't what the Most High first created them with. It say they got scabs now. So that's now why we do the weaves. You understand, the extensions and stuff like that. These things are curses that we brought upon ourselves.
Right.
That's it. We brought it upon ourselves. Read.
And the Lord will discover their secret parts. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery.
What's the secret parts that the Most High is talking about? That's talking about their private area. How do our sisters, mainly the younger sisters, right? They dress all out of order. Okay? Everything's showing. Everything's showing. And then some of the older sisters is trying to do that same thing. Because now they're trying to compete, right? It's out of order. Read.
Verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink.
There should be stink, because our sisters naturally used to smell good, but now the Most High saying they're going to stink in some areas. These are curses that the Most High put upon our people, man. Get 1 Timothy chapter 2. How is the sister supposed to be? Let's get 1 Timothy chapter 2.
Are they supposed to be natural?
It's supposed to be natural, yeah. Definitely supposed to be natural.
Also must cover up who they are.
Watch this. 1 Timothy chapter 2. Yeah, give me 9.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 9. In like manner also, that the women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
Say it again.
In like manner also, that the women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
So the Bible, this is the New Testament now. It's saying that the women must adorn themselves in what? Modest apparel. Meaning you have to cover up. You have to cover your body up. Why? Because you put lust on your brother.
Right.
Give me that in Isaiah real quick. We're going to go right, not Isaiah, but Matthews. Give me that in Matthews 5:28. We're going to go right back there.
The book of Matthew.
Start at verse 26, I think.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 26. Verily, I say unto thee, thou shalt... 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time.
This is Christ speaking, the black Messiah.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
So you've heard before, don't commit adultery. We already know that that's cheating on your wife, right? Come on.
But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh upon a woman to lust after,
so you married, right?
Have committed adultery with her already in his heart.
So you married, you just dropped your wife off. Now you walk in the streets and you looking at the next thing.
Right.
You just said she just got on the train. Now you looking at Judy with the big butt. You like, oh man, and you lusting though. You imagining yourself dealing with her.
That counts watching porn movies too?
Watching porn too, brother. Because what are you getting your rocks off to? What you're seeing. And you're imagining yourself.
Outside of your wife.
Right. And you're imagining yourself in that scene. Read it again.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 27.
One more time, come on.
Ye have heard that it was said of them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Come on.
But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh upon a woman to lust after, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
So y'all see that? So that's why, and that's the whoredom that we got going on in our communities today. You married or you might not even be married. I'm talking to a young man at my job. He young as me. I'm married though. I'm like, brother, you got your girl, y'all got a kid, y'all live together. What's the hold up? Oh, we still got things we want to do in our life. And woo. Give me the one in Sirach where it say a simple man will not be reproved.
But long as you don't go all the way, you haven't sinned, right?
Hold on, I can't hear you. Because a lot of more. Nah, bro. You kiss her, you fondling her and all that. That's out of order.
No, I'm talking about if you ain't do all that, you just saying, look. You know what I'm saying?
This is the thing. Go back to Matthew 5:28. I'm gonna show you what I get your question. So the brother said, long as you looking and you don't physically touch the other woman, even though you married, are you really committing a sin? I'm gonna show you what it is.
The book,
It's lust in your heart. That's what it is.
the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 27. Ye have heard, it was said of them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Come on.
But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after.
So now you imagining yourself having sex with this woman. Come on.
Looketh on a woman to lust after her, have committed adultery with her already in his heart.
So the scriptures say you already committed adultery already in your heart, meaning mentally. So what's going to happen when you got something? Because remember, the book of Philemon says that without my mind I can do nothing. A lot of our actions are based upon what? Meditation. It's always premeditated.
Right.
There ain't no such thing as a non-premeditated murder. You got to think about these things at all times.
That's right.
So it's always premeditated. So Christ is saying in the spirit that what's going to happen is if you already thinking it, you're going to be 10 times more sure to actually do it.
Right.
That's why he's saying you already committed in your heart.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.